Okay, today is February 23rd, 2024. It is a gorgeous day. The weather is, I think, in the 70 degrees Fahrenheit or a little bit higher. Very nice and warm. And I don't think we're going to get any more cold weather this year. It may drop a bit, but not going to be freezing anymore. So the trees are starting to wake up. And every year is different. Last year it was towards the end of March. This year it's the end of February. So my pear trees are already starting to put out buds. So it is very important to do certain things this time of the year. So I will show you a few of those. The first thing I will always do is I train my trees. And as you can see, all these ropes hanging out everywhere. That is the cheapest way that I find to train trees. I have a bunch of these ropes. I'm not sure where I got it from, but they're just laying around. So I use them for training my trees. And then these stakes here, I bought them a few years ago, and I just reuse them every year until they break, and I buy new ones. And yeah, you can train your trees that way they don't grow all bunched together. It's good to have the branches grow apart, so they don't crisscross, they don't intersect and all that stuff. And it's better for the health of the trees in general. And also this time of the year, when the buds are starting to form, so the trees are waking up, it is the best time to start to do grafting. And I have already done a few. So here is my first graft for the season. So I will be doing a bunch more on that. And I'm also grafting some of my apples here. And you see the pear trees, you see the buds are starting to break open. So you can already see greens coming out. And the first thing you will see is the little bud for the flowers. And certain types of pears, like different varieties, they flower or they break open different times. And when you're growing pears, that's very important. So I've mentioned this in my previous seasons and all the other series, which varieties are compatible, but I will mention it again. So the varieties that are compatible and they will break open the buds early are the Hosui. Hosui are super, super early. So as soon as it gets warm, see those are Hosui right there, you see? They're already having flowers popping out. And another variety that is a little early is usually the 20th century. You see? The buds have not fully opened, but they will start to come out pretty soon. At the top already it's coming out. Hosui is always the earliest every year. That's how my trees are. So if you want an early producing pear tree to be compatible with anything else that is early, Hosui is the earliest. And I have a graft right here. This is a Hosui graft, and as you can see, they already broke open. And the Shinseiki is still not even opened yet. So it's gonna take another week or so before they open. And then we have the Shinko. Shinko varieties are around the same time as the 20th century and the Shinseiki and the Chojuro. And again, here we have a Hosui graft, and as you can see, they already broke open. And the Korean giants are also very much compatible to the Shinko and the Chojuro, Shinseiki, and the 20th century. So they're a little bit later. So this is the Korean giant right here. This is one of my grafts that I did a long time ago. And look how big it got now. So that's the Korean giant. But this one here is the Korean giant on its own. And so you can see the buds are not open yet. Usually they open towards March or mid-March. And so you will see those. And this is probably the most beautiful tree in all of the trees that I grow. They're just lovely. Okay, so make sure you train your trees early when the branches are small. That way they're easy, because when they get bigger, like this size here, it's really hard to train them. So when they're small, do that. Also, if you are going to do air layering, So my tree produces little shoots off the ground. This is the original stock tree, and they do produce these shoots every year. And so I don't just cut them off. I actually air layer them into new trees, because when you air layer them into new trees, you're going to have a strong rootstock just like this one here, and then you can graft something else on top. So I've already done one and it became successful and it's growing right now. So let me show you. Okay, so here is that shoot that I just showed you. The shoot was originally smaller, and so I air layered it, and then I grafted a Korean giant on top right here. I should have done it lower, but that's fine too. So once they have these other branches, I will do the same. I might even do one for this one here as well. So I'll graft onto that, and then I'll have some beautiful grafted trees on a very strong rootstock. Okay, so another thing that you should do right now, because the trees are just starting to wake up, the buds are not open, the bees are not coming around yet, is to spray. You want to spray the dormant oil to treat all of the insects or any leftover diseases that could possibly be dwelling on your trees from last season. Spray the trees. Do this until the flowers open. Once the flower open, stop spraying, because that's when the bees are starting to visit, and you don't want to harm the bees. And so there should always be a schedule, right? When the plants are sleeping in the wintertime, you can spray it one time, and then once they start to warm up a little bit slightly, then you spray it again, and then wait another month or so, spray it again, and then do it one last time before the buds open. And that should be good enough for these trees. That's just to prevent diseases, bugs that are overwintering in your trees. And also make sure you do your grafts when the trees are starting to break buds, because that's when the juices in the tree, are flowing, and so you can graft easily and it will have the best success. Also, you need to do air laying if you need to, grafts and treatments and all that stuff. But yeah, so those are all my trees. So let me show you a glimpse of what they look like right now. They're bare bone. Those are my apples. These are apples, and I have a whole bunch of grafts on those. Those are like 5, 6, 7 in one now. Persimmon. I have pears. So I will list all the varieties that I'm growing in the description so you can see. But yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next update.